Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 4, Episode 2, and we're back today with Halifax as we settle into the League 2 season. We've got two big games at home to Bolton and Tranmere, two of the more reputable sides in the league, but they're both struggling down in the bottom half so far, and are realistic chances for us to get points. We start on the screen of Jake Turner to avoid any spoilers, but also to ask you a question, as there's something I just can't work out here. We'll get to that in a minute, but firstly, a massive thank you to everyone who continues to follow the series. I really do appreciate it greatly. If you missed the transfer special last time out, then click in the eye above to catch up, just so you're familiar with the squad we've got this season. You'll also find a link to all of our other FM20 series there, as well as our podcast Matchday vlogs. If you're enjoying the series so far and looking forward to our first League 2 action of the season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't yet done so, then subscribe for the channel for daily FM20 content from two long-term stories, including this one. But the question I have about Jake Turner is a little bit of a weird one. It's the first time I've not been able to solve this problem myself. Since he's joined the club in January of this year, this is the best average training rating he's had for a week. So 6.05, which is pretty appalling and still the worst at the club. He has been without doubt the worst trainer at the club. Every single week he's been listed as the worst. He's normally been in the 4s or 5s to be honest, so this is a pretty good relief for us. But he's a decent player, he's got an average personality. I know his determination's not great, but everything else must be okay, as otherwise how would he have a balanced personality? And I just can't work out why he's training quite so badly, and I can't seem to get him to improve his ways. Normally we do so with mentoring groups and the like, but I just can't manage to do so here. So if you've got any tips for that, then please do let me know down in the comments. I really would appreciate your input on this one. You can see in the early stages of the season, it looks pretty good on the face of it. 9 goals conceded in 7 games, a pretty decent defensive record, 3 clean sheets as well, but that doesn't even explain half of the story. The reason for that, if we go back to the home screen, with 7 games played, we're in the bottom 2, and we are absolutely woeful in front of goal. We've got 3 players on a goal apiece, as we've barely been able to hit the back of the net. After a difficult start to the transfer window last time out, we've had a really explosive deadline day, and that could be the saviour this season, as we've had 3 or 4 really top quality players come in, so we'll go and meet those before these games quickly, and then hopefully get through both the games in good time. So without time to waste, let's go and look at the transfer screen, see the players that have joined the club. I was getting really worried after the last episode because we had no action from our director of football for 3 weeks. Wardle came in on loan, who was already being discussed before we finished off last time out, and then for a month nothing happened at all. But deadline day he came to life with 3 loan signings, 1 familiar name out of those as well, and then also a free agent transfer too, just to give us a bit of a bolster in our defensive line. No more players that have left the club since, as you know we had a small squad and needed to improve, and the 5 men that have done it are as follows. Lewis Wardle you already knew about, 3-star ability, 5-star potential on loan from Everton. He's just turned 18, he's a pretty decent player, a young striker who can't really finish. He can play off the wings though and is decent at that, and he's made a few appearances for us already. Just over £1,000 a week being contributed to the wages, so certainly not breaking the bank. And the next one, and the first of 4 deadline day signings, Demarlio Brown Sterling, a brilliant name that is by the way, 20-year-old on loan from Forest, £1,700 a week, only on loan till January, which is a bit of a concern. I'm hoping that gets extended looking at him. 3.5-star ability, 4.5 potential, played for Forest and Bolton in the past, who are today's opponents. A really decent player, he can finish well, physically he's excellent, mentally he's not bad for a 20-year-old, and he's good in the target man duty as well, so Sam Smith's going to be relegated to the bench again. Then the second deadline day signing is Frank Wiles, another Lone Star on from Wigan, this time for the full season on loan, and what a midfielder this guy is. 4-star ability, 5-star potential, wonderful personality for a youngster, fairly professional, a brilliant playmaker, technically sound, and he's going to be such a creative force for us. He has tempted us into a tactic change again, as we're going to have to adapt to a different formation. I really think that this guy's going to be able to do it for us, and hopefully serve Brown Sterling up front. Third, the only permanent signing of the deadline day, and also probably the least exciting, James Simpson, a young right back, £400 a week on a 3-year contract, really good tackler and good physically, got a lot of ground to make up mentally and particularly going forward in technique as well, but 3-star ability, 5-star potential, very close chase for Jacob Hansen for the right back spot, and we're going to make sure he gets games in a leasing.com trophy, and we'll try and feed him into a few League Ones as well. At 18 he could become a superstar for us, and one of those youngsters we could sell on for a fee. If I'm honest, on the 30th of August I was desperately looking for a new job to come up, and by the time this guy had come in on deadline deadline day I was very much committed to Halifax again. 3 brilliant signings and still one to come, and one that needs no introduction at that. Aaron Solman, who we had on loan for the second half of last year, 3.5 star ability, 4.5 potential. If anything, he's got better from his pre-season at Peterborough. 21 games and 4 goals for us last year, and he's back after Carabao Cup games for Peterborough already. A wonderful player and good footballer as well, and again has contributed to our change of formation. So let's go and get into our first game today and see how we're going to fit these signings in. The first game, of course, at home to Bolton. They're in 17th place after a pretty sticky start themselves, and the second game against Tranmere, who are in 18th place. Both sides potentially winnable games. So I'd expect Bolton to be favourites. They are their evens to get the result today. We're missing Nick Cerula, who's away on international duty. Of course, he's our first choice left back, and there's 2 going away for Bolton as well, so both sides slightly depleted today. Over 3,500 at the Shea for what is probably the biggest reputation side to visit, and let's look at the 11 and formation we've gone for, and a little bit of deja vu from last year. So here's the 11 and 18 we've gone for today, of course enforced into a change at left back, and we've also gone back to last year's formation. I've just amended some of the duties for today's game, and we're also going to change our tactical style as well, as this is the first game that we've had most of these signings. So we're still going to try and hit early crosses, want to get the ball into the box to Brown Sterling. He looks an absolutely wonderful player, and he'll go in as our pressing forward today, and it means we've got the likes of Dale Southwell on the bench, real game changers off the substitutions, and the same with Wardle, who was the first loan. Another really good player we can bring on. So I'm just going to have a look to see if we can match everything up. We probably don't need to take long kicks anymore. We can take shorter ones and try and get it out quickly, just to get back on the front foot again. But this time we'll distribute to the playmaker in midfield, just to try and be a little bit more direct. But everything else is going to stay the same. There's not too much I want to adapt in our tactic, and most importantly I want to stay on our feet now, make sure we don't go diving into challenges. And the 11 we've gone for today includes 3 debutants, all of them at the upper end of the pitch. We've been decent defensively, as we've talked about already. Only 9 conceded in 7 isn't bad, but we've got to amend ourselves going forward. I think we're the lowest scorers in League 2. Let me just go and double check that quickly. It'll be hard to imagine that we aren't at the moment. Just 2 goals scored in our first 7 games. So hopefully these new lads can change that. One of them we already know is a good player, and the 11 in full today is as follows, with Jake Turner starting off in goal. We've got Askew and Hansen at fullbacks, with Ed Francis joining Lomas in the middle. No centre half to join on deadline day, unfortunately, but I don't think we can be too critical of Mike Mulvey, as it has been a pretty decent start so far. We've got Nolan in central midfield alongside Erin. Hopefully their partnership can develop again now. Junior on the right wing, Solman over on the left. He's going to cut in as an inverted winger, and then Wiles in as the advanced playmaker on attack, behind Brown Sterling, the new centre forward. So let's get into the game, see if we got our attacking threat. Hopefully we'll be able to improve now. With 4 new signings in the squad today, there's going to be a lot of squad numbers handed out as well. Well, 4-2-3-1, Bolton have matched us up there. We're going to tell the lads to prove a point, go out there and show what they've got. Of course they've had a tough start to the season, morale's really low at the moment, but we have had a word with them in a team meeting, and it seems like most of them are motivated today. So into the first half, we're sticking with key highlights. Hopefully that'll get us through the 2 games in good time, but otherwise we're just hoping for a positive performance, and hopefully a goal or 2 to celebrate as well. 15 minutes on the clock, and we've got a goal kick with Jake Turner, short to Lomas, the central back, and he's out to the right hand side to Junior. He beats his man with a really good turn. Can he get the ball into the box for a Sterling? Into the front post, Wiles flicks it on, headed away as far as Solman, into Sterling, he's bobbling around. Sterling misses a clear-cut chance. 2 good efforts there, we really should have scored, but unfortunately new striker brings no solution. Again in front of goal, we're awful, and another good clear-cut chance goes begging. It remains 0-0 with a quarter gone. We're back on the front foot again with Erin. He finds Wiles, the number 10. What a turn that is, up to the edge of the box, finds Junior, who scores. We look a different team today. It's brilliant. Unbelievable goal. The roly-poly comes out. Junior gives us the lead early on, and I'm starting to feel a lot more positive about our season. Wiles with a brilliant turn and run, exactly what we want from a creative number 10. The likes of him and Sterling are so good at this level, and I'm hoping they're going to be able to make a big difference. 10 to the break, it remains 1-0, and again we're coming forward from the corner. A good header, but just over from Brown Sterling. It ends up landing on the roof of the net. We will go and look at our recent results between the two games, but of course this episode we just want to get going as they have their first chance of the match Bolton from a set piece, but thankfully they head it over the bar. A free header which is a little bit of a concern. We're not often left wanting at the back, but this time Bolton are coming back into it and trying to get an equaliser before half time. A cross into the box hacked away by Nolan. Sterling picks it up on halfway brilliantly. He's skinned the defender and he's created a chance for himself into the box and shoots. The effort's tame, but the run was fantastic, and I'm so positive about this team today. We've had 7 games of absolutely woeful defensive displays, trying to play long ball football to a front two, and now we've finally got a team that can play football, and hopefully we can do well for the rest of the season. Eddie Brown has a chance there for Bolton, a chance to get level on the stroke of half time, but thankfully heads it against the post and wide, and we're yet to let them have a shot on target in this game. A brilliant dominant display. We deserve to be ahead. We're going to tell the lads they've been excellent, and if we can win today we can get the ball rolling, try and get a little bit of confidence in the club. So let's just get into the second half straight away and hope the lads can produce the same performance. Nearly 10 gone in the second half. We've got a throw in for Bolton in their own defensive area. The left back throws it into Hazel, the centre half. Long ball over the top. Brown's got in from it. Really lapped defending there. And they've scored the goal, Bolton. Eddie Brown in 1-on-1. Of course they won't miss their clear-cut chances, will they? Their first shot on target and they score. And it's come from Lomas switching off at the back. We've got a throw at the other end straight away though as we try to get back on the front foot. Hansen delivers. Solman heads in. Brilliant leap from the left winger. I'm pretty sure he's only a short lad as well. Only about 5'8" or 9, but he manages to get up above the big centre half and a fantastic nodded finish into the bottom corner. We were only level for a couple of minutes, straight back on the front foot and scored, and we're starting to show attacking threat in this game, and we've doubled our goal tally for the league season. Here's Nolan to Wiles in central midfield, earring out to Junior who knocks down. Wiles 20 yards out, great turn again, in 1-on-1 but his shot saved. A tame effort down into the corner, and the keeper gets down to his left to save. We've had so many clear-cut chances though, unfortunately many of them have been wasted, and Askew the left back's had a pretty tough time of it, but he gets the ball away to Sterling here. Wiles picks it up. What a player he is. He's just skimmed 3 and run through on goal, puts it just wide. It's a brilliant effort. Almost had me out of my seat there, but what a fantastic performance it's been from these lads, and Wiles is going to be an absolute revelation. Just so confident on the ball, and even if we don't win today I'll be positive. We're really starting to show good signs at this club, and I think we'll climb the table in no time. Here's Atkins on the left for Bolton, into Brown who heads just over the bar. He was never going to be able to get the pace to beat the keeper, and with 25 to go we'll think about substitutions. It's been a brilliant debut for some of the lads, 2 of them struggling a little bit now though. Junior's just picked up a massive knock, so let's go and give him a rest. Wardle will come on the right wing on support. Brown Sterling's going to be replaced by Southwell, and let's try and end his goal drought while we're at it, get a little bit confidence into him as well. 2 subs made, we'll save the last one just in case we need to time waste towards the end, but what a ridiculous performance. It's absolute chalk and cheese to the start of the season, and all the football cliches can come out now as we seem to have found our mojo yet again. Right, a minute plus stoppage time to go. Let's go and make some tactical changes. Time waste all the time, slow the pace down. You all know the drill at this point, and we'll go and make our final substitution as well, just to try and see out some of those 4 minutes. Aram Solman on the left can have a rest. He's done really well on his second debut. Danny Lloyd will come on as a winger on support, just to see out the last couple of moments. Oh, 30 seconds to go. This isn't what we want. Wally heads in. Hazel just wide. Oh, he's hit the post. He should have scored there. We're let off in the 94th minute. Generally, our defending's been very good, but we've struggled a bit from set pieces there. But the final chance goes missing for Bolton, and we're going to get a deserved 2-1 victory. Turner with a short goal kick to Lomas. Hansen at right back goes back to him again. And if Turner's got any sense, he'll hoof it long here, and he does just that towards Southwell. Missed out and Hazel hacks it clear. Only falls on the left-hand side for Lloyd though, and he shows all of his experience letting it run out for a throw. I absolutely love little things like that. The full-time whistle goes. We've won our first game of the season. A fantastic moment for us. Absolute revelation Wiles in the number 10 role, and the new signings have given me a new lease of life. Let's go and praise the lads, get the confidence back on side. They've been absolutely magnificent, so we've congratulated them on their performance. Kane Royce agrees and the lads are delighted. Let's hope we can make it back to back against Tranmere. And just like that, we're out the bottom 3, nice and easy for us. The media say we edged them out in a close encounter. Junior's only going to be out for a couple of days. We've got a week until the next game, so he'll be fit again. And Wiles, of course, impresses on his debut. It's a 12-match winless run in the league we've just ended. Of course, we had the last 5 of last season as well. Thankfully, then we survived by the skin of our teeth, and we managed to get our first win of the season in this one. As you can see there, we've got all of our previous form. 3 0-0 draws already this season. Otherwise, it's been pretty narrow defeats. Aside from the Chesterfield game where we got a rollicking. So obviously you were with me when we played against Rotherham. After that, I'll very quickly show you the run of results. 2-1 defeat at home to Plymouth. In the last second we conceded a goal. Josh Askew with an own goal in the 94th minute. And then the same against Yeovil in the 92nd minute. Former Luton man Luke Wilkinson rising from a corner. A 0-0 draw followed against Swindon. Relegation rivals last year of course. Before a hammering away at Chesterfield. Then back-to-back 0-0s against Leyton Orient and Grimsby. Before a 2-1 defeat away at Rochdale. Luke Matheson, the young right back who's pretty well known in real life. He scored a cracking goal 25 minutes to go. The only thing that surprises me is that he's still there and he survived the rest of the transfer window as well. We lost on penalties after yet another 0-0 in the Checker Trade Trophy. Sam Johnson, our goalkeeper, scoring our only penalty. He's got a brilliant penalty taking rating at the club. He's the second best in the entire team. But of course we've been given a new lease of life by that victory and I'm really excited for the next game against Tranmere now. So we'll be back in 7 days to see if we can get back-to-back wins and we'll be back in a second to go through the build-up. Into game 2 and looking to make it back-to-back wins in League 2 against Tranmere. We've got mixed news on the injury front ahead of today's game. As you can see, Junior's just passed a fitness test. He should be fit to play the full 90. However, we have got some problems at the other end of the pitch and we'll have a look at those in a moment. So we're playing against Tranmere and we could potentially leap above them with a win. We were on 6 points, Tranmere on 8. It could take us back up towards mid-table actually. And with those deadline day signings and our new look side, we really are starting to look a handful. The dynamics are improving. The dressing room atmosphere is back above average, the team cohesion and managerial support's excellent, and neither of those have ever been waning to be honest, so that really is a positive sign for us. Tranmere still slight favourites, 3 draws in a row for them, so it is possibly the most likely outcome. Both sides drawn a lot of games already, 8 between us in our 16 games. We've got a referee who's managed to give a red card already, again over 3,000 at the Shade today, so let's go and have a look at our problems, which include an injury to our goalkeeper Jake Turner. He's going to be replaced by Johnson, not the worst backup in the world, but he spent most of pre-season injured himself, so he's not match fit whatsoever, and that could be a bit of a worry today. But aside from that, I think we'd have to go for the same 11. Aside from Cerula, who's back from international duty, he comes in at left back in place of Askew. Askew will come onto the bench in place of Simpson. In fact, we might even put a more attacking player off the bench, just to try and give us a little more flexibility. I'm tempted to maybe take Danny Lloyd off. He's not the best player going backwards, so we're going to take him off the bench for today, just to give place to Askew in case of injury. So Cerula's struggling a little bit for morale. We're going to go and give him a little bit of praise. He's trained quite well this week, so let's praise him for that, and thankfully his morale's now improved. Just those little individual talks, that man management can have such an impact. Solman's the other one who looks like he might need it, so we might just go and praise his conduct recently. As for coming back to the club, that's good enough for us. So the 11 today sees 2 changes. Cerula in at left back for Askew, Johnson coming in force because of the injury to Turner, and we'll get into the match with the rest of the team the same. Can we get the result against Tranmere, make it back-to-back wins, and finally get the much-needed kickstart to our League 2 season? 4-3-3 for Tranmere, a bit more of a defensive layout for their midfield 3, but some really good players, the likes of Tom Field at left back, Corey Blackett-Taylor, I mentioned him last season in this series, a wonderful player who was absolutely brilliant in our last podcast matchday vlog. We went to the FA Cup tie between Watford and Tranmere, and he absolutely ran the show when he came on. We've got a few other good players there, Manny Monte the skipper, brilliant centre-half, he's an absolute mountain of a man, so they've got a really decent line-up today, the likes of Paul Mullin still there on the bench, and Scott Davis their number 1 as well. So we're going to have to be careful if we want to get a result. We've still got a couple of players struggling for fitness, and when it's the goalkeeper and centre forward, that's a bit of a concern. Probably be a few weeks before we see the best of Brown Sterling. Into the first half though, no chances early on. Let's hope we can get on the front foot in the first half again. Well, nearly half an hour gone, we've seen nothing in this game, but we might have to make some tweaks to our tactic. Look at the chances below, 10 shots for Tranmere, 3 on target. We've not even threatened the goal at all yet, so we'll see out this highlight and then make some changes, as Lomas does well to nod back to Johnson. Out to Cerula, the left back. He goes down the line to Solman. Can we get a smash and grab on the break? Here he comes into the middle, long over the top. Brown Sterling can't get there. Manny Monte heads away and it's switched to the left. Hansen should beat Blackett-Taylor to it. He goes inside to Lomas. Down the line to Nolan. We're playing some nice stuff here, but we don't really look like scoring at the moment. The ball's bouncing straight back off the striker. Long ball forward. Lomas there again. Falls for Gilmore and Morton though. Here's Blackett-Taylor, the danger man. The man who cost us a point earlier last season, and he puts that one comfortably comfortably wide, so we're just going to drop to a balanced mentality, and I'm not sure what else we can do at the moment. I'm going to demand more from the lads because they've not been great, but I don't think there's much I need to change tactically. We don't want to go to a too short a passing game, as otherwise we'll just get overrun in midfield. Field with a long ball forward towards the striker, Serafino in, what a save by Johnson, possibly got slightly out of shape, but recovered to make a brilliant save. The offside flag's up as it turns out, but he wasn't to know when he dived for it. 10 to the break, is still 0-0, definitely no doubt that Tranmere have been the better side, but if we can get a point it's another positive result, and we just need to keep on pushing for the victory. Let's talk to the lads then, we're just going to encourage them. We've got to build this confidence in the squad yet again. Frank Wiles looking nervous, he's not been able to get in the game, probably got that defensive midfielder marking him out of it, so we might think about dropping him back a bit later on, maybe going for a holding midfielder instead, or even sacrificing someone like Lambert as a number 10 and then getting Wiles to run and push on past them. But for now we're going to go and make a couple of slight tweaks, just see if there's anything we can do to change the game, and we'll be back in a moment for the start of the second half. Hopefully we can put in an improved performance. Right, so a couple of tweaks to the roles and tactics on this side of the pitch. We're going for a shorter passing game with a lower tempo. I've dropped Ear into a defensive deep line playmaker role, Solomon to a more advanced inverted winger role. So let's see if those two tweaks make a difference as we get into the second half of this crucial game. 5 minutes gone in the second half. It looks to be the same pattern, I'm afraid. Tranmere on the right, but they've conceded it here. Cerula away to Brown Sterling down the left. Not the best ball, but we've got a chance to counter, and there's 2 or 3 running up in support of him. Brown Sterling down the left. He's lost out in the challenge. Pretty poor defending, actually. As it's cleared, it finds Francis, and he gets it to Nolan. We've got a chance to come forward on the opposite side now. Plays a 1-2 with Junior. Nolan again keeping possession well. We are starting to look a bit more comfortable on the ball, and we've just passed the 50% mark for possession, so less of the ball for Tranmere means less chances. Here's Hansen on the right hand side. Terrible pass to concede possession. He's in 1-on-1. We've had a bit of a lag. Oh, Johnson's palmed it in. That is absolutely ridiculous. That's the problem when you've got an injured goalkeeper. Sam Johnston not much worse in rating. How are they saying that's Solman's fault? It's been given away on the right hand side by Hansen, the right back. The goalkeeper's let in a straight ball from 30 yards. It was the centre forward who scored it, so the left winger shouldn't be marking him. I cannot work out how that's Solman's fault. So we're going to go back to the tactics. We're just going to go back to our traditional gameplay, see if we can get back into it, give the lads a kick up the backside. I don't think there's much more we need to do at this stage. We've just got to try and get the ball forward again. So Solman is going to come off because apparently he's been woeful. It's going to be Wardle that comes on for him. He's going to be an inside forward on support. That's his preferred duty on that left wing. And in fact, we could switch him over with Junior actually. Both of them playing in more preferred roles then. Junior prefers to be an inside forward on attack, so let's just give him the opportunity to do that. Are there any other players that haven't been great? Nolan's had a pretty poor game in there, as has Wiles, so we're going to drop Wiles back. He's going to become a central midfielder. And Mazzala on support, maybe a central midfielder on attack. And then Nolan in the number 10 role, he's going to be replaced by Jack Lambert. He likes to play in that role, advanced playmaker on support or attack, so we'll leave him on the most attacking duty for now and just try and give ourselves more attacking threat. Wardle will go attacking as well, all 5 of them trying to push forward, and we'll give Brown Sterling another 10 minutes before we give him a rest and build up his fitness. Dow Southwell on the bench, a potential game changer, so let's get back into it and see if we can get a goal. Throwing on the right for Jacob Hansen, finds Lambert the substitute down the line, back to the edge of the box, Earings there, he's got a man over on the left if he can find him, it's Cerula overlapping at left back, good ball to the back post, causing trouble, Field manages to hack it away, but it falls for Earing in the centre circle again, he goes to get it back out wide on the right, a poor ball through though and it's lost again, Serafino causing all sorts of trouble, he'll probably want to shoot after last time, but that Earing manages to get there and clear it. It took 2 attempts, but we prevented the shot, which is good based on Johnson's performance so far. Morris inside to Gilmore. He finds Morton. There's a man over on the right. Tranmere completely dominant in this game. Can you let me know in the comments, how has this changed from the last match? Such a difference with the same sort of setup. As Wardle's coming forward on the right, we might be able to nick one on the break here. He's into the box. Brilliant solo goal from Wardle. Lambert set it up with a simple pass. Wardle did all of the rest of the work. Ran the length of the pitch, put it in the far corner, and there's the benefits of having a striker on the wing. Brilliant solo goal, unbelievable effort, the least deserved goal we've had all season, and now Wiles has picked it up. We've got a chance again. Good save by Pilling, the goalkeeper. A brilliant effort from 30 yards there, but fortunately for Tranmere, they're able to hold on. They're back on the attack on this side though. Gilmore with a throw in on the left to Morton. He finds Serafino who's drifted wide. Good delivery into the box. Blackett Taylor loses out. Lomas hacks clear up to the striker Brown Sterling, and he's a brilliant touch and and turn to find Junior, who's now in one-on-one. Can he score? He can't. Challenged too easily by Bainbridge there. Shouldn't really have been knocked off the ball. Serafino drops into the hole again. Lomas makes a brilliant challenge that time though. He's out of position on the second occasion though. Hansen manages to clear it away. Wardle long forward towards Brown Sterling. Great touch and turn, goes for the shot. Tipped over the bar, was it? No, the keeper didn't get a hand on it. But it is still 1-1 with 10 to go. And we're going to bring on Southwell for the tired Sterling. Just building his fitness, he's starting to look a threat now. Southwell hopefully can bag a goal off the bench. But it's a Tranmere corner as we go into the last 10. Gilmore delivers towards the front post. Headed away as far as Mullin, the Tranmere sub. Into the box, Junior heads away. Lambert hacks clear down the left-hand side. We're hanging on for dear life defensively here as Bainbridge picks it up on the right-hand side. Long ball down the line to Hill. He's got a chance to cross. There's 2 or 3 in there. Delivers to the back post. Gilmore gets there. Hansen deflects it away. Oh, what is Johnson doing? Johnson has been at fault for both goals. That is absolutely pathetic. Let me know if you've seen anything like it. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. Let's just go and have a look at it again. Apologies, the commentary went mid-sentence. So Hansen clears it, deflects in. What's he doing? He could have just picked it up. But instead he tries to stick his leg out, hits it into the striker. And with 5 to go, Tranmere have got another free kick. And we're just going to have to go all-out attack. Gilmore with a delivery from the right-hand side. Into the back post. Mullin nods down. Bainbridge puts in for 3-1. Finally one Johnson couldn't do something about. Again came for the cross when he didn't need to. But it's been a woeful display from our backup keeper. Thankfully Jake Turner's only out for another week. He'll be back in a few days' time. But after the euphoria of the performance against Bolton, this has been pretty much back to square one today. Serafino on the right-hand side absolutely ran the show. His cross is blocked towards Hill though. Into the box, Lomas heads away. Falls for Gilmore on the edge of the box. But we're spared any further punishment as we finish the game with a 3-1 defeat. I've no idea what happened at the end there. How Sam Johnson didn't get blamed for the first goal, I don't know. And how it went to Solman's fault, I'm not quite sure. But a 3-1 defeat, a terrible performance, and back to square one after the brilliant start. The only positive, I guess, Wardle's first goal for the club. A brilliant solo effort on the counter from him, but we've got to tell the lads it was very disappointing, and he's back to the drawing board after one good display. I think inconsistency is going to be a problem this year. So many young players who haven't played much football, and we're back down just 1 place above the relegation zone, and Crawley just a point behind us in 23rd. We'll very quickly see what the media have said, as I'm aware this has been quite a long episode. We're powerless to resist, Tranmere dominated. Let me know in the comments how different those performances were, how on earth it happened with the same setup. Maybe it was just the keeper that cost us. But if you did enjoy that double header and seeing our first win of the season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the signings. There's some brilliant players coming in on deadline day, I think, but again inconsistency is going to be the problem. So many of these youngsters struggle to perform weekly. We're going to leave it a little while before the next episode, perhaps come back towards late October, early November. Might depend on what our first round FA Cup tie is, otherwise we'll have another double header from League 2. But some good signings, our first win of the season, and despite that Tranmere game it's largely positive, so hopefully we'll be able to stay up and keep our job, and maybe even catch the eye of some bigger clubs too. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from my 2 long-term stories. This one will be back on Saturday with another couple of big games from League 2, and then Bolton Wanderers is back tomorrow with our end of season review, and then on Sunday we start a new season in a new league, and we've got a massive big transfer special ahead of that one. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support of the series as always. I really do greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we try to climb up the League 2 table.